performing the duties of his office.
Digby C. Caesar.
No.
Well, hey everybody, thanks for stopping by. I am Digby, and today, for the first time in a long time, and the last time, we are back in Boundless. Now, Boundless is a game that I have a lot of hours in. In fact, it's over 3,000, which is a bit ridiculous, actually, the more I think about it. But anyway, yeah, Boundless, when it came out, actually had a pretty innovative little mechanic for this sort of game, which is that the in-game economy is actually based on, like, supply and demand. The value of things you buy in the game, like portal fuel, or beacon fuel, or tools, or, well, essentially everything in the game that's for sale. The prices were determined by the players, and they had this notion that it was going to allow the economy to be a very fluid, very realistic thing. Now, while that is actually a really cool way to run your game, the downside of it is it actually only works if you have players. Because yes, Boundless is, for all intents and purposes, dead. And I know I'm going to get a lot of stick for saying that from the people who actually do still play this game, but I hate to break it to you guys, the game is friggin' dead. In fact, the argument that I always hear is, oh, well, you know, I haven't seen any proof yet. Well, here's your proof. Monumental bought this game 2 years ago, they promised a whole bunch of things, and so far they have done absolutely nothing. They haven't added anything new, they've barely done any server maintenance. In fact, apart from collecting on the revenue stream that you get from like Gleam Club and stuff, I haven't seen them do a single thing. And this is a game where, prior to the collapse, they actually had an entire experimental branch that already contained a lot of the things that the players wanted, you know, like melee weapons and shields and all kinds of cool stuff that we were promised we could have that they've never delivered on. And rather than even attempt to port any of that stuff into the game itself, Monumental has basically just sat down, counted the money, laughed at us, and gone their own separate way. So yeah, Boundless, dead. And I can prove it to you, because at time of recording, this is a Friday morning in late summer, and we are inside an MMORPG, and I guarantee you right now, if I go look at the number of people currently playing this game, and bear in mind, this is a worldwide game, available all around the world. It's got planets for every single region. There's 50, I think, different worlds, not even counting the ones that people can buy themselves, speaking of the game's revenue stream. But yeah, this massive MMORPG on a late summer day has exactly that many people playing it. But Digby, I hear you asking, and well, you should, why are you still actually playing this game if it is as dead as you say it is? Well, the answer to that is simple. Basically, I used to play this game all the time, like every spare minute I had in my day I spent playing Boundless, and I did actually meet an awful lot of really cool people, some of which I am still friends with to this day. And we had a really good time playing together. It was always fun, always a good time. I mean, I only started playing this game because my friend Survivor was playing it, and he talked me into it. But yeah, I met people like Bloodraven through this game, my buddy Ryan over at 10th Isle Gaming, he's another one I met through this game. But Cork, I only found Cork's channel because of this game. And then there were the people like Pixelated Twix and Melly Mel and Cosmic Mermaid that were over at a place called Purple Rain that we used to hang out with all the time. Now that's not to say that there weren't any asshats, because yeah, I met plenty of asshats playing this game too. You know who you are. But overall, it was always more nice people than crappy people, so yeah, I invested a whole bunch of time in a whole bunch of different builds, and even as the game started dying, a part of me was really reluctant to just say goodbye to those things. For example, the only substantial build I have left in this game is my mega yacht, the Lorelei. Now, the Lorelei is a 2-scale reproduction of the mega yacht that you can get in GTA 5, which when you're talking about online games and their player base, GTA is kind of the gold standard. But yeah, I bought a yacht in that game for 10 million GTA bucks just so I could build a 2-scale model of it here in the game. And yeah, it is not only large enough to see from space here in the Sanctum, it is actually large enough to see from space on other planets. In fact, hold that thought, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alright, well, it's pretty much front and center, but there you go. We're here on Sepinix America, which is where I have a smaller build. And that there is Tana, my home planet, and that right there is my mega yacht and the dock that it's parked next to. And yeah, even my swimming pool is visible from space. Oh, yeah, speaking of asshats. So yeah, I spent the better part of 6 months, like every single spare minute I had, building that boat, this boat in fact, we're on it as we speak, and yeah, that's why I was so reluctant to let go of it. Now, if you're wondering why I am going to let go of it now, let me show you. There's a couple of things you need in this game, one of which is critical and the other one of which is kind of quality of life. Now, the quality of life one is this, which is essentially a portal so that you can travel to other worlds. Now, the way you keep a portal going is you feed it what's known as ort shards, which is essentially portal fuel. And back in the old days, I used to be able to go to... I can't even remember the name of the freaking world now. Hold that thought, I'll check. Alright, yeah, we have this bitter bean atlas for Besabrona. And the way it worked was, I would put the atlas in my inventory, like so, and I could go to Besabrona, and all of those little blue dots were... Oh, holy crap, that filled in quick. Anyway, yeah, all of those little blue dots were beans, and those beans sold for usually around 140 Boundless currencies a piece. So in the span of an hour or two, I could collect, 50, 60, 70, 80,000 even sometimes worth of beans that I could then sell, and I could use that money to buy portal fuel. Which, if we look over here... There we go. Yeah, it's just portal shards. You used to be able to buy them for like 20, 30 coins a piece. I could pretty much get a whole stack of them for 30,000 bucks. And that was a really nice, sustainable way to, keep my portals going without having to do ort hunts or any of the other nonsense that I don't really enjoy in this game. Now, unfortunately, though, because as previously mentioned in the intro, this is a player-driven supply and demand kind of like market economy, the cost of portal shards, while the demand isn't quite as high as it used to be because there are way fewer players than there used to be, the supply is absolutely almost non-existent. Well, no, that is absolutely not what you wanted to do, dum-dum. You wanted to go to knowledge. You wanted to... Oh, actually, you know what? Let me go to the Universal Trade Tracker. Hold that thought. Yeah, this website here is the Boundless Universal Trade Tracker, hilariously known as the Butt. And if you look up... Yeah, let's do an item search for ort shards. I used to be able, like I said, to buy a stack for 40, maybe 50 grand if the money was really, really bad. And now, if I want to buy ort shards... Oh, hold on. Do I have to just go ort? There we go, ort. So yeah, ort shard. And you will see that now the price of ort shards, here in the very few stands that are selling it, is actually 165 coins a piece. And you used to be able to sell them for a metric ton of money as well. And now that's also no longer a thing you can do. So what's happened is, thanks to the economy being so tits up because there are so few players, I can no longer afford to feed my portals. Now, the other thing you need is actually beacon fuel. As you can see, I got 12 weeks left on this. And unless you're doing the, like the inventory stream thing I was talking about earlier, the Gleam Club. Yeah, unless you do that, you have to actually replace your fuel. And fuel is also now a lot more expensive than it used to be. And because there are less players, I am now generating less footfall, which is another way to passively earn income in this game by having people visit your big builds. So yeah, I'm making way less money for what I used to do to make money, and I'm having to spend way more to be able to sustain this. And I use the word sustain very deliberately because it has now become non-sustainable. So I think what I want to do is I want to give you guys a really quick tour of my yacht for one last time, and then we're going to nuke it, I'm going to uninstall this game, and I'm probably never going to play it again. Alright, well, I met a lot of good people, I made a lot of good friends, I had a lot of good times, but there's hardly anyone left playing anyway. Half the people that are playing are the asshats that have no life outside of this game, and quite frankly, I can still play with my friends and still do, on games that are a lot better and a lot more active than this one. So yeah, I think it's time to extinguish the flame, turn out the lights, and say goodbye to Boundless forever. Pretty solid metaphor for the whole game, really.